This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Truth Tuesday show with your host, Akeem L, here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing great. Everything's going fine. Today was pretty much a contemplation day. Been reading, studying, and as I was reading later on in the day, Texas is suing all of the battleground states over the election results. So this is getting really interesting. And what's interesting, more interesting about it is how ignorant the news media and even some lawyers are to the requirements of the Constitution when it comes to these elections. I mean, I know more about it than they do. And just hearing some of the commentary, oh, this is unusual, this is unprecedented, this is affecting our democracy, but what's happening is the democracy, is what the rules are in place. They can do that. So basically what they're doing is they're suing those states to saying that their Supreme Court did not have original jurisdiction to make decisions as far as those suits that Trump put forward. And they didn't have jurisdiction, the legislators didn't have jurisdiction to change the electors without proper procedure that the Constitution requires. So that's what they're suing over. And which is good about it is if you go read the cases, it actually outlines how the Constitution is supposed to work, and showing that the real election is next week, the 14th, and the actual choosing of the president is in January, early January. Let me see. I think the date, because I was reading it, and it actually put the date, this is exactly what it says here. It says, the candidates receive an absolute majority of presidential electors' votes to be cast on December 14th, which is next week. This will finalize the selection of our president. The only date that is mandated under the Constitution, however, is January 20th, 2021, U.S. Constitution Amendment 20. So they're telling you that the actual selection of the president is January the 20th of next year. And it's like that. It's not the same date. I think that January 20th is let's look at the calendar. Well, let's go to January 20th is the third Wednesday of the month. So the third Wednesday of the month is when the president is inaugurated. The inauguration happens, inauguration day. But so let's see. Let's see what happens. This is real funny, and a lot of people are saying, "Well, he won't give up." I think it's kind of a good example for our personal lives. I mean, he's fighting, and people are laughing, oh, he just won't give up, he lost, and then ha, ha, ha. But most people who are saying that or even thinking like that are not financially sound. The man didn't become a billionaire by giving up. And let's just put all the presidential and politics aside. It's a good example of how we're supposed to do in our lives. If we feel like we want something and we want to achieve something, we shouldn't give up, even when it looks like we're defeated. He looks defeated right now. It looks like, on the surface, he is lost. And the reason why it looks like he lost, because you just got the AP who said it, that he lost, and then you got the media saying it. But the media and the AP doesn't select presidents. That's the problem. There was a post on Facebook. I'm going to try to pull it up. And just shows you how people are really quick to pass judgment. And the post was, I am for mandated vacations. But then in the background, they had a picture of the vaccines. So people were commenting, no, I'm not getting no vaccination. The vaccination just said no, no, no. And the thing actually said mandated required vacations. And it just goes to show you how people are. They see something, they don't really read it or pay attention to it in detail, but they will give strong opinions on information they don't fully grasp or understand or even paid attention to. And this is how the majority of people operate. Because the majority of the post was talking about vaccines, and it really wasn't about vaccines. We say, I want mandated vacations, but they just stuck that image of vaccines in the background. Like a needle in the bottle of vaccine liquid in the bottle. It is like, wow. And this is how our public acts. And this is why they get away with what they do. Because we're not properly informed, or we don't properly pay attention to details. This is why a lot of people lose in this arena that I teach in, because they don't pay attention to details. They hear somebody say something, they run with it, and then get there and realize there's something missing. I learned that early on, back in 2015, not to do that. When my back was up against the wall, I started to see who was really for me. Or you giving me information and I'm using it, and it's wait a minute, I got to adjust. And how I had to adjust, I had to study for myself. But back to this whole not giving up. That's the reason why most people are not successful, because they give up. They won't stop. I mean, they'll stop when things get hard. They'll stop when they want to watch a TV program instead of working on their business. They'll stop and go to, hey, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take a nap or something like that. Sometimes I'm even guilty of that. I got things to do. I had some things to do today, but I've been working since about 4 o'clock this morning. And I stopped. I took a little break, about 30 minutes. But I probably could have kept going. And then some people say, well, you got to have balance and this and that. But listen, the one thing I don't want out of balance is my bank account. And if I stop and I slow down, that's what's going to happen. If I stop and I don't pay attention to that, that's what's going to happen. That'll be out of balance. And people forget that. People will rather play first and hope for the best when it comes to paying their bills. So you can say whatever you want about Trump. One thing I've noticed about him, he's relentless in his position. However ridiculous he might sound, he still pushes forward. And I know that's one of the reasons why he's in the financial position that he's in. He's got money to leave generations to come to his family. And at the end of the day, regardless of who's in office, that's important. To me, it is. What I'm leaving behind, what legacy I'm leaving behind for my children and family. And too often we pay more attention to trivial matters that have nothing to do with pushing the needle forward in our success, instead of working on leaving something behind. We don't have time to be worrying about what somebody's doing, what somebody's saying that is not in connection to your success. And another thing with Reverend Ike, which ruins success, is we create enemies in our mind of people, even when they might be trying to be an enemy or they're trying to be antagonistic, but we let them get inside us and be antagonistic towards us. Like I get emails all the time, nonsense email, and I cut them short. I say, hey, do business somewhere else quickly. I shut it down. And even when I do that, sometimes those antagonistic people get mad because I tell them I don't want their money. It has never failed that when I told a person that we're not going to do business together, they got more upset because of that. So that told me I made the right decision. That was a negative person with a negative vibe that I picked up on, and I said, you know what? I'd rather you go do business with someone else. As soon as I say something like that, they'll come lash out with all, and they make me the enemy now. I'm telling them to save money. Don't, hey, we're not going to do business together. Keep your money in your pocket. They're mad because I'm letting them know that the business relationship is not going to work between us. But now they're mad because I won't take their money, and they put me in any enemy position. I'm not an enemy. I'm actually helping you because you might get better service somewhere else. Someone else might be able to help you better than I can. And I recognize that because I work a certain way. I'm not going to sit there and work with someone and have to explain away all of the bad information that they got. I only want to talk about the information that I have and how it's going to work for you. I want to stay positive. Why are we having a conversation about things that you tried over and over and it didn't work? Why would we talk about that? There's no need to have that conversation. That's a useless use of my time and yours. You see? I like to talk about successes. I like to talk about things like when I see brothers like Marco and Jason and Glenda Bay and their businesses, and they're pushing their businesses forward, and you can see that they're advertising and trying to put their business out there and make those. That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about what's not working. Let's talk about what is working. Just like you can make enemies of people, you can make enemies of your own success by talking about negative things. Oh, it's slow right now. That's you creating an enemy by a thought that's oppositional, that opposes your ability to be successful in your business. So oppositional thinking is just not towards people. It can be towards your own situation. And I know it's difficult because I personally deal with it myself, that sometimes I get in those thoughts and then I got to remind myself, why am I thinking like this? It's all taken care of. Everything's good. Why? Because I got food in the refrigerator. I got money in the bank account and surplus to take care of things just in case there's an emergency that needs to be handled. If I decided to get on the road tomorrow, I could with no problem. We have to live in the mindset that everything is done, everything is good, even with this whole virus thing. States are starting to lock down again. No, why are they locking down again? Is it because of the virus that they're locking down? No, they're locking down because people was in fear of it happening. And it's happening. They're bringing their disaster to them. They're bringing their current calamity to them. And the government is obliging. There's no conspiracy against you. The conspiracy is within yourself. Why? Because when they locked down before, I pretty much felt normal. Like it was just a lot less people on the streets because people was in fear and they didn't travel. I saw on Facebook some people were talking about, I guess I had plans to go to the mountains and I guess I'm not going now. Oh, hell no, I'm still going wherever I want to go, like I did before. Remember what the Constitution says. You have liberties. And if by chance it does come up and I'm questioning about my trip, I'm religiously taking my trip for religious reasons. It's my religious retreat. Okay, shut down. Bye. I never forget, me and my daughter was driving to Florida. And they had a sign on the road for COVID checks coming into Florida. And it said, all cars over here for COVID check to the right. And then it said all trucks and others to the left. So, I said, I'm the others. I went to the others and state troopers everywhere. I went right in that same lane. They didn't stop me, and that was it. What was that? That was a mind trick, a game. They know people are so used to just following whatever people say without really thinking, just like that Facebook post. And they went all to the right. You had lines of people over there going through these checks. I knew they couldn't check me because they're not doctors. I have to sign off on you medically examining me. They didn't stop. I went right on through, right on the same lane the truck is. Past the state trooper on the left and the right, and they was them. They just sitting there, didn't do nothing. Why? Because I was the others. See, they played the game with the mind. Just like on the SS5, it asks you who you are, and you get check off the other. You don't pick none of their U.S. citizen terms, right? Yeah. So a lot of good news came through this week. You know, I got a email from someone who was very negative, and they were sending this long email because they wanted to know about the premium membership. And just in case they weren't listening, and I told them I would clear this up, you know, since he was trying to get me to give him a free consultation. That was the issue, and I wouldn't. But my premium membership is set up this way. You're really paying for me helping you process the passport, you know, but I have a requirement for that, meaning if you have issues with IRS and child support, you need to let me know up front so we can work on that. We need to get that done first before I put you into the membership, because if you apply and you don't get it, your application expires in 90 days. Now we got to do another application. Why waste $210, right? But I can help shut down the child support and help shut down the IRS. And IRS is where I've been most successful with. I have people with passports owing over $2 million to the IRS. Yeah, literally. But, of course, these people knew what they were doing. They followed my process, and then they knew they did some other things, and it stopped it. Yeah. Now, child support is another animal. We have to totally go after that. We have to really attack that, and that takes time to do. But it can be done. Remember, if you're not a U.S. citizen, none of these rules apply, right? What they're talking about, because those rules are designed for U.S. citizens. It says that U.S. citizens is under the jurisdiction of these rules, right? So, yeah. So the issue was I should have did the bond first and all that. No, we don't do all that first, because see, when you don't listen to my show, when you don't understand what I'm doing, then you don't understand the process, and that's why I told the brother go somewhere else and do business. But I don't have time to undo all, because he came at me like I should be, like I'm supposed to do it the way he wants me to do it. So I said I don't have time for that, because my way is working now. Someone has already successfully been through the recruitment process. Now he's just waiting on his recruitment money from the Treasury. That's all he's waiting on. He did it all. It's coming. We already got one person already finished. It don't take a year to do this process. If you go through, you get all the things and go through it, and I give you the contacts to go to, you can move as fast as you are. He needed to move fast because he have property he's trying to save. You see? And there's another caveat to the bond process with the brother that I introduced people to. There's other things, but I'll talk about that in the membership. But there's a big caveat there that I just got wind of. I didn't know until the other day. But, I got mine done. It's already been submitted. So with the membership, you get that. So you're really paying me to do the passport process, which I already charged $1,500 for it in the first place. The other stuff is complimentary, and I hooked you up with the brother that does the trust, the 3 trusts. Yeah, he charges $1,500 for it. That's the extra fee, but you're paying him. Then somebody said the sound keeps cutting out. Anybody else having trouble with the sound? Hang on. Let's see if I can make it a little better. How's that? Y'all good? Well, I'm going to keep going. No one's saying anything. All right, somebody said one. All right, so with the membership, they get all those things as a compliment. And those things are way worth, even if, okay, with the money you're spending for the things that you're getting, 3 trusts, $1,500, some lawyers charge that price for one, and sometimes more. And y'all know lawyers use templates, just like everybody else uses a template. They don't type those things up from scratch, and they add in what you say you want or need it to say, right? They add in extras, but they work off templates. They get software. They buy legal software, gives them a template. Because I've seen trusts that people have presented to me from a lawyer, and then I've looked at the trust that I've had, and it's the same thing. And the trust I got was off a website that was selling trust templates. So that told me right now they use templates. Of course, it saves them time. But then the brother with the bond, he's not only doing the bond, he's doing that non-UCC, the bond, and then there's another power of attorney over that straw man. And I got to say, I've seen a lot of these things, and this is by far on point with everything. Then you have to file those things in one specific place for it to even work so you can start working with those accounts. Okay? It ain't in your state neither, but that information is given exclusively to my members, people who have invested in me and what I'm doing. They know the value. That's why I sent the brother somewhere else, because he didn't understand the value of what I was doing. And I really hate to take somebody's money. If they don't understand the value, they become a problem later on. I want everybody to be happy, so he'd be happy somewhere else. And peace to that brother. Now, a lot of good news happened this week. Brother that I've been helping with his child support issues since, I think, right around May, June-ish. I can't really remember when we got together. And I've been telling you, I even talked about his case a few months ago when I first helped him. When his first time went to court, and we challenged the name issue, the proper name. I actually read the actual filing on the air to you guys to help you, right? So they kept postponing it. Something amazing happened yesterday. And it's always good. Like, the universe always balances things out. People come at you negative, and then after all of that, so if you just weather it and you just take it and you don't get caught up in your feelings and make these people your enemy, the reward comes later. I get a phone call. I missed the phone call. Then it was a text. Hey, the judge did such and such. I'm not going to say exactly because the brother's going to come on, and I'm going to let him tell his story. I'm going to let him tell y'all exactly what happened for him. Now, I don't take the credit for this. All I take credit for is I put him on the path. And he understood the path or overstood the path, and he followed it. No deviation, no extra. I'm going to add this. I'm going to go over to this website and put this in. I'm going to do this. I'm going to piecemeal. See, people who piecemeal are not successful. See, I always recommend, if you really want to do somebody else's process, just do their process. If you really want to do mine, do mine. And let me be clear, it's not my process. It's what I read in the law, and I just put it on paper for you to use. So let me see if the brother is available to tell y'all his story. See if he could press 1. If you in there, I think he is. He might be waiting at 8:00 because I told him text him real quick that I'll get his call around 8, so he might just be waiting till then. Let me just text him. While I'm waiting on that response, I'm trying to see what number he's on. But then we got another success with student loans. We just so funny. We were talking about it on the show the other day, and then all of a sudden something got updated. I got a text, and he said he's on, but I'm not sure what number. Oh, I see it. I'll get him in 1 second. As soon as okay, got you, brother. I'll get you. I see your number down there. I get you. And then I get a text showing some success. And that's a big time success. I mean, this brother was definitely big time too, but that's another big success. But I'll let them tell their story on Thursday, Jessica and Tasia's show. I won't steal their thunder, but I'm just saying, this station is making a difference in people lives. Really making a difference. Now it's making a difference that they are fully educated on what to do. They're not just following some empty process without seeing the reason why these things work. You know? And they have, and it's their faith in themselves and the God within them that's making it work. I'm just a signpost. I put the flashlight. Here it is. There you go. That's what you need to be looking and studying, and this is what you do. But let me get this brother so we can talk about this.
Hello,
yeah.
Greetings. Can anyone hear me?
Greetings.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you good. I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Greetings to all your fellow listeners. Thanks for inviting me on here.
No problem. I had to invite you. You put in some hard work.
Oh, yes, you know? Sir. Especially with your guidance, man. For you guys listening, like Akeem just mentioned, the most important thing is to follow his path and don't deviate. Do what he tells you to do and stick to it. And also, in addition, make sure you incorporate everyday prayer into that process. And trust definitely. Me, it works. It works. I spent a lot of time on my knees praying through this process. And this brother, I told him one time, I said, man, you must be where my angel. I said, you didn't even know I had court tomorrow and you called me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
yes, sir.
Well, it's let me follow up with you. Because, that's what happens. I have a lot of things going on, but when something hits my head that I haven't been thinking about, that means I need to pick up the phone and make the phone call. There's a reason why that thought came my way, and you had court. So let's go to the beginning, how all of this started, so people can get the full picture of what you were dealing with. You don't have to go into all of your personal business, just kind of generalize and say,
yes, sir.
Tell what's going on.
Yes, sir. So around me, I was out at the store actually having some lunch at the mall, and my now stepdaughter, she called and sent her mom a text message with the constable delivered a placard on my door trying to serve me. I didn't know what it was for, so, it had, at that time, my name spelled in, like I would write it. So I said, let me go see what this is about. I had an idea, I know I was behind on some things, and and so that was around March, and I really didn't have any time. I started, waking up at 3 o'clock, and I'm in code and reading through code and law, and I'm reading these brothers, watching these videos all over YouTube and stuff, and fast forward, Corona hits, and fortunately, I only had like a week left before that where I was just going to go in there and defend myself and just speak, But because I had that extra time, I kept doing research, waking up every morning, get on my knees, pray, and ask God for guidance, and kept going through the path, kept researching, learning a little more, learning from everybody, getting a little bits and pieces from everyone. And I actually had a consultation with a gentleman, and, he said, man, there's nothing I could do for you because it comes out of a divorce decree. And so I kept looking, and I didn't give up. I kept looking because they were coming after me for a large sum of money. I had gotten sick and had 2 surgeries and stuff, so I was unable really to pay at the time. Not that I was dodging anything or whatever, and that's my advice. I mean, make sure you guys out there don't use these services in the wrong way. Use it to protect yourself if you ever ensnared by the wolves. So I happened to come across a Keem site because, I used to follow the Moorish community heavily, and I came across a Keem site, and it was this brother that had a testimony. I believe his name was Mr. Johnson, and, he went into court, and he spoke very articulate and, argued his case. He had some points and stuff, and he wanted to hire Akeem for his services because he thought they were coming after him again. And Akeem was like, man, I don't want to take your money, man, I think you're good. He said, you may have handled it a little different than I would. I'm more of a procedural person versus, going in there sounding like some highfalutin lawyer. And so then I decided to call the brother up. I explained what I had going on, and he delivered for me. And I mean, Akeem, if you want to add on for the specifics of, the processes that you had given me along the way, I can discuss that as well.
Yeah, go ahead. From your understanding,
okay.
Just your how did it? Yeah.
So from my understanding, like I tell you guys, I was behind the 8 ball big time when he came in and he said, okay, we could raise personal jurisdiction at any time. So that was my first answer. Again, I didn't know about the written part. I go in there and I want to go and quote this and that and this code, but the written part, he helped me tremendously with me because I didn't really understand the technical word of styling cases, And so we put in our first answer to the Attorney General's request, and it was for lack of personal jurisdiction and using the proper name. And so they, after that, they continued the case. The judge even said, Mr. Green, you need to go get a lawyer, whatever. And I was like, no, I don't, because they induced me to this fraud in the beginning, but I never said much in the court. Never had to. Only thing I stuck on, every time I come, I introduce myself. I said, hey, my proper name, my proper Christian name is such and such, spelled with upper and lower case. I am not the all caps name in legis. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, that's all I pretty much said. Each time I went, judge got a little frustrated one time, and he was like, I can hold you in contempt. And he put the camera on the bailiff or whatever. So, they continued the case anyways. They wanted discovery of this and that. And so the attorney asked me, why was I here? And I said, because I'm here under the arrest. I'm not that guy, but the judge told me he was going to put the camera on the security guard. He said he'll arrest me, and that's why I'm here. But to make a long story short, all we did was basically utilize that tool, the documents. Each time they requested something, I would, go to Akeem and seek his coaching, and He would tell me what to say, what to do, and I just followed it to the T. I didn't add anything. I didn't want to remix anything. I didn't want to add anything, because when I was studying on myself, it was like Spirit had spoken to me and said, lean not unto thy own understanding. So pretty much, we attacked it with utilizing the proper name. We gave them exhibits with from their law books out here, and the judge came back and let me add something. So the last case, the last court date, the judge, the ex didn't show up. Sorry?
Yeah. Was that yesterday?
Go ahead.
Or before? Okay.
No, that was the one in October.
Okay, got you.
So the case in October, that was when they wanted that clarification for discovery. Mm-hmm. So in that case, the ex didn't show up. So I said, "Hey, is the ex here?" And they said no. And I said, "Well, I make a motion to dismiss this with prejudice for default judgment because she's not here." And they told me they picked up the case. The state did. And so they said, we still want discovery. So I said, okay, I need time to respond. And so that's when I called Akeem. He gave me my paperwork, and we were able to respond. I got it. He actually called me like 5:30 a.m. my time, said, get this in ASAP. I went and got it in ASAP. That was Friday, so I had my case Monday, yesterday. And when I went there, they had me on hold for like 3 hours sitting in the room on hold. And then all of a sudden, I get Attorney General shows up, and this is the third Attorney General on the case. And she asked me if I had an attorney, and I said no. And she said, well, I'm the Attorney General. I don't represent you, and I don't represent your ex-wife. But your ex-wife wants to reset this case. And I said, my ex-wife? I said, I thought last week you guys told me that, or last month, that you took over the case. So which is it? And I said, this is bias. And I said, no, I make a motion to dismiss this case right now with prejudice. And so the judge comes back, and then the judge says, he gets all of us on the Zoom, and he says, Miss Green, I need you to understand this. There's nothing I could do with this. I don't have jurisdiction. I don't have no authority. I can't do anything. So only thing I could suggest, you get your lawyer and take it back to divorce court. But I can't handle that. So if you guys okay, I let you go. You want to go? And I just hung up. And that was it. And I called Akeem and told him.
Yeah, see, he told him he didn't have jurisdiction. Now, when I called him 5:30 in the morning, right, let me just give y'all some history. I had sent him paperwork on the 17th of November.
Yes, he did, and I couldn't find it in my spam mail.
Couldn't find it, and I sent it 3 times, and he just couldn't get it. But in the midst of me making sure he had the paperwork, inspiration hit. The Spirit hit me, boom, and I readjusted the paperwork. And I don't normally call you that early, but some said call him, wake him up. He needs to get this and get this in there now. And I adjusted the original paperwork that I gave you, and said, do this, and then I added the exhibits of the Texas Law Review Menu, telling them how you're supposed to style paperwork. And that's what shut it down, right there. Now, what shut it down was your persistence and you staying on the path. That's the biggest part, that spiritual walk. See, I always tell y'all guys, that you have to do that spiritual work. There's no getting around it. See, some of y'all got the cart before the horse, meaning y'all looking for someone to give you something. Give me this, give me that. Go on here, give me this, do this. Just so looking for somebody to do something for you. And I say this to a lot of people: stop. Make sure you do your spiritual work first, then everything else will work. It's just like the scripture said: put forth the kingdom of heaven first, and all of these things will be added to you. Boom. So with him working that way, I got that. It was good that he didn't get the first filing, because he would have filed that first. So there was, even though I was like, why isn't he getting this? I'm like, did I send it to the right email? I checked it. It went to the right email address 3 times. And he was like, we was texting back and forth. No, I still didn't get it. And then I said, man, I'm going to make sure he get it now. And then as I was trying to send it, something stopped me in my tracks. No, do this. And so I just readjusted the paperwork really quick, sent it to him, called him up and told him how to present it, what to do, put it in, and here we go. This is the results we get. See? Spiritual work first. The actual physical application comes second. And I commend you, man, that you stuck to your guns. Because so many people let them people shake them, especially when they use that whole contempt of court thing. Especially when they do that. But you stayed on it, man. So you got to give yourself a hand for that.
Yes, sir. I thank you. And like I said, and some of the other brothers, I watch one good technique: play dumb. Never say you understand anything.
Right. You are a layman, right? So you don't want to. They're speaking a whole language.
Yes, sir.
A whole different language. And what was the biggest thing what made me change? And there was a couple of things I changed, but I will give this caveat to the audience. If all caps is not the proper way to style anything, right? Then you should not be putting all caps in your paper nowhere. Meaning, if you're starting your paperwork with comes now and it's all caps, it's improper. That's a different language.
Yes, sir.
So jurisdiction is the paperwork. So that's what So I restructured the paperwork while I was writing everything properly. From his name to, only time you saw all caps is when I was making reference to what they were references as your supposed or alleged name. That's the only time. But everything else was written. I took the comes now to the upper and lower comma, and then I wrote everything in that, and it told me. I said, wait a minute. Everything got to come from all caps. Excuse me. So that was one of the inspirations amongst 2 other things that I made changes to that paperwork, which I will only share in my private membership when we have a class this coming Sunday. So, man, I want to thank you, man, for getting on, showing people that they can do it if they just, put the work in. And that is that mind work, because you had it done in the mind. The mind did everything.
Yeah, it has to be done in the mind first, and keep praying. And, I got a little nervous talking over the phone here and just discussing the process, because I was a little excited, too. It's just like, it's kind of unbelievable, because I spent so much money on attorneys where they damn near bankrupt me to get to this position, and you're like, they'll never help you and tell you these truths.
No, they won't. And some of them don't even know.
And that's the truth. They don't even know, because in the truth, it was a lot of. I had the first attorney general was a young sister. They threw her off the case soon as she got presented with the American National. She didn't know what to do with it. And then they put another girl. I guess she was supposedly more seasoned, and we hit her with more paperwork. And then that's when the third one showed up, say, "Hey, goodbye. We can't deal with y'all no more. You got to get out of my court." Because even the judge, right?
It's about the money.
Go ahead.
They can't make money off you. They can't make that money. So they can go off to somebody else that they can do that with.
Yes, sir. They like, man, get him out of here, because they didn't even want me to judge when he saw me on Zoom. He didn't even want me when he was doing roll call. He said, yeah, Mr. So-and-so, he's here. Mr. Green is here. He's here. And he went down and let everybody else say their names, because I have a program spiel. My name, my Christian proper name, and I go in there like a robot, and I say it over and over. You know?
Right. Yeah.
No, my brother, I thank you for your all your help and being there. Like I said, man, I mean, I'm not one of those needy clients that I'm gonna blow you up all day and stuff like that. And you've been for those listeners, man. The man has been rock steady, and I'm just a testimony. And I just want to tell you guys that if you follow the path, stay prayed up, you will get your remedy.
Yes, you will. Man, all right, man. Thank you. I'll let you go finish off the rest of your evening. I appreciate you getting on doing that.
All right, Akeem, I appreciate you, man. I will be in touch for, I guess, okay. Step 2 should come around.
Yeah, well, let's just be clear. They're not finished, because you know she's going to come back and try to be hard.
Yes, sir, I know. I know that.
Easier this time, because now
yes, sir,
I'll be able to answer on time, you know, because we were out of time.
Yes, sir.
With just go jurisdiction. But this time,
yes,
you know, I just, they might be better off just relaxing, you know. So let's see what happens.
And I think at the end of the day, that's probably what's going to happen. Like, it's not worth it to go spend that money to collect. You're going to basically break even. So what are you trying to prove, a point?
Right. You're going to keep paying these lawyers to come at you.
You know? Exactly.
Okay. And you can see how fast the lawyers sold her out, right?
They sent her down the road quick. He used that window when she told, as soon as she mentioned that, well, I guess, I don't know, they was going back and forth. They may have called her up. I don't know. I'm just speculating, because she wasn't even part of the case anymore. And I was like, how does she get on Zoom? And so, and he was explaining to her, like, look, there's nothing I could do, really. My hands are tied.
Well, you know? Let me just clear that part up. The state only got involved because they get paid for enforcing that stuff from the Fed.
Yes, sir.
The Fed cuts them a check for enforcing those orders. And now when you took it out of their jurisdiction, so that's why they had to convert it to the all caps in order to get that money. Because they got to show that paperwork. They got to show the proof that they did this and we enforcing this, and now the check, they cut the check to them for that particular order. So they can't do that in proper name, because where are they getting the money from? They're getting it from that social, which is in all caps. It won't match. The accounts won't match if the name doesn't look exactly the same. I'll give you a glimpse of it. If you ever been in bankruptcy court, the first thing they ask for is that Social Security card. They want to see if the debtor's in the room, not you. The debtor is that card. You see? And once you understand those little details, you know how to move. I know the account they're chasing after, but you're not attached to that account. But at the same time, they need you to be the authorized representative to let them get into the account, period. And you wasn't letting that happen because you were certain who you really were. So, all right, man.
Hey, Keem, again, thanks. Everyone, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to hang on and listen.
We'll be talking.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's awesome that he was able to do that for himself. And it's just and listen, you know what I think the issue is why people don't have the success that they have because they don't think it's that simple. They think they gotta add all of this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Yeah, what about this? And they listen to all of this crazy stuff. It is that simple. You heard the man, he barely said anything. Every time he went, he just stayed on the same path and he stayed on that straight narrow path. Didn't deviate with all of that broad information that most people do. And I see that so many times. And it is gratifying to me when one person out of 10, 20 that I'm telling that don't stay on the path, because most people don't stay on the path. They figure they know better. You know what I mean? And they do other things. And they get the results that they get. This coming Saturday is the Name Change webinar 2. A lot of good response. People have signed up for it. That's going to include the templates for the name change plus the deed poll template that you can add to it as an exhibit to show who you are. Because, I know sometimes these judges are not giving you what you need. That being said, anybody got any questions? Press that one. Press that one. If you don't, I will call it a night. I think I gave y'all enough information. I was going to read these Supreme Court cases with these suits between the states so I could point out some constitutional nuggets. But I'll wait. Maybe next week. Let's see what happens on the 14th. We got a couple of people here with their hands up. 443-703.
Hello?
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 You there? Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, what's going on? I ain't hear the thing say I was off mute or whatever.
Oh, okay. You good? All right, what's going on,
brother? Man, I don't know. I probably had to wait till this weekend to talk to you about it. But here goes something I got that's really been bugging me for a minute. That I'm kind of confused on. So I'm into the name change, and I'm just looking at how that connects to the recoupment how the name and all that stuff goes together. Is there any connection to that, or am I just looking at it?
Private class? You're not in the private class, are you?
I'm not. I was going to ask you about that too because I went through the whole passport thing with you, and your explanation on all that was.
Did you do the $1,500 package?
I did the 2,000 package.
You did the 2,000. What 2,000 package? I never had one that was 2,000.
Yeah, you hit me for 2,000.
Wait a minute. I thought you was already in that group. But let's talk about that on in the private tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
I thought you was there. I'm kind of thinking. I know you did the passport and everything. Yeah. We overlooked that one. You should have been in the first class.
Yeah, I should have. You know it is what it is. But I was going to do the IRS stuff and then with all that, so that was hampering my money.
Yeah. The reason for the name change is because in order to do the bond with the brother that I work with, he requires that.
Okay, I was just saying if it was a connection with it. That's all I was trying to double check, making sure I was following along the right way.
You don't really need to do recruitment to do that name change process, right? For that particular, but you need the bond in order to do the recoupment. You understand now?
Right.
You need that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. So, and you want this bond. Trust me, you want this one. Not that dimpy UCC stuff that they've been doing.
Right.
You want this.
I had a question about that too. That was it the same old?
No, it's not. Definitely not. I've seen something similar to it, but the wording and how it's structured. is way different. And the key is the service you're really paying for is him getting it filed in the right place.
Okay.
That's the issue.
I know you haven't.
Everything exactly right with that, right? But when you send it off to the where it needs to go, they're gonna reject it, even if it's right, because you ain't in there. This guy is in there, so he does it. So that's why that's necessary.
Okay.
So that's all I can say on that, because that's really
we're wrapping in private.
All right. Yeah. Anything else?
I know I asked you the other day about the marriage thing, but back to what you and the brother was talking about with the name, and when you send that nationality paperwork in with your documentation, they don't really know how to deal with it. They kicked my case out I filed.
Yeah, they don't know how to deal with it, but go ahead.
Yeah, they kicked my case out I filed stating that, how did they word it? The person who I was suing, which is our mayor, that I didn't put in something about him having military service. I've never heard of that. No code, no nothing. Just rejected my whole thing, saying I didn't file something about military service.
What does military service got to do with your suit?
What's my case?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So it's just craziness that they come up with that it's just obstacles we got to figure out. So I read to you about that in the private too, though. Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to about that brother we didn't cover when we were talking. He has nothing done. Like nothing. Like he come in with no, like you said, he found me through he heard the testimony somewhere else, and he was basically new. So he didn't have anything filed or anything. So this goes to show you that name part is powerful. He don't have a name change order. He don't have none of that. So what I'm trying to tell you, that name change, just staying in that position with that shuts them down. See, the issues we had years ago, they would tell you, "Oh, just don't answer to the name," but that really is tricky.
Right.
But they never really gave you a procedure to really follow. Like, it was really sketchy. Like, so I had to really work on that. That's why I worked on that. I said I need to find an answer. How do we address these people when it comes to these all caps? So I said, and just like anything else, put the paperwork in and identify who you are and who you're not, very specifically. Now, of course, I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve that I hold under my, close to the vest. And it's only for people that I'm helping. But I got a little, and this is one of those tricks I used on Friday. It hit me. Like, Akeem, why didn't you do this? And then boom, I said, okay, this will really get them. And they walked away from it. They ran away from it. Said, I can't do nothing. No jurisdiction here. And I told y'all, it's all about jurisdiction. Why should I argue about whether I owe or not when you don't even have jurisdiction? I'm not this party you're claiming I am on this paperwork. And once you stick that religion in there, proper Christian name or proper Muslim name or Jewish name, that changes the game. That changes everything. That key religion puts them in a position where they cannot argue with you. There's no arguing who you are when it comes to who your religious beliefs are. All right, brother. We got anything else?
That's all I got. Yeah. No, I'll rap to you in the private.
Okay. All right.
Man,
peace.
Thanks for that. Peace.
All right. You're welcome. All right. All right. I don't know how he slipped through the cracks on that one. 715-501.
It's Akeem. How you doing,
Peace,
Akeem?
man. I was thinking about you the other day. I said, man, Marco in a long time.
Long time no see. I've been so busy, dude. I just gotta update you on some of the stuff that's been going on with me. But
okay.
So you remember I was trying to get my 401k, the money out.
Right.
and they got this because they what do you call it? They asked us at my work that if we wanted a 5% pay cut or take a furlough, right? So I said I'll take a 5%. And then I was looking at my retirement stuff, and my retirement says that for this whole coronavirus thing, right, that if you either like a family member or you got COVID, or if your hours were reduced or your pay was reduced because of COVID. So I said, oh, wow. And what they do is that if you take, they allow you to take up to $100,000, and they only charge you the 10%, you know, for taking it out early. And then so I filled out the paperwork, and then the paperwork says, you know, if you want the Fed and the state tax withheld, and I said, no, don't. I'm not gonna withhold that. And I did a what do you call it? Expedite. I took out my whole 401k, and they cut me a check like 3 days later, man. And I got that in the bank right now, so I can. It was easy peasy, man, because of this COVID thing.
Now,
so
are you did you put some in that some Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin started to look good right now. And so it's hovering around 18,000.
I'm waiting for it to drop again.
Yeah,
I think it's going to drop. It's going to drop probably back down to like 16 or 17.
I think if Biden, they make it official with Biden, it's going to drop.
It's going to drop, and then that's when I'm going to buy some more of it. But I got tons of that stuff, dude. That and you know, when at work they force you into, you know, different funds and crap like that they make you, you know, you only got so much to choose as far as like stocks and stuff like that. So now I got my money, and I'm investing in all the things that I want to, like in what do you call it, blockchain, you know, investments for like crypto and stuff like that. That's all going to blow up, and other investments too. And so I'm doing that, you know, and then I got money for, like, I'm going to put on a down payment on a house. I'm paying off all my car. I'm going to pay off my car. Well, actually, I'm going to wait on that. But yeah, it was, and I was, you know, I was thinking about it. Yeah. So I was thinking, it's like you believe, and you know it's going to come to you. It comes to you. You just got to believe. And this just dropped on my lap, Akeem. Like it just came to me, you know. So like things like that, and people that don't believe in that, you know, that you're God, the God's within you, and that you can make things happen, and you believe in it. It happens, man. You just gotta believe, you know.
Yes, that belief is very important. Knowing that you're gonna get it done and make it happen. That's it. That's the key. That's pretty much how everything. I just, you know, keep it in my mind.
Just start happening.
And you know, if resistance do come, you just gotta block that away, put that to the side, you know. But I'm happy for. How's everything going other than that?
I got a new love in my life, or a new girl in my life.
Oh, okay.
Everything's going great, man. Everything's going great.
All right.
And
good.
So I got the for the name change. Is the birth certificate supposed to have like the lower and uppercase too? Because mine came out all uppercase. Did yours come out like that?
You gave it to them to do it?
Yeah.
To change it. What you have to do is go to the top of the chain with those things. Now we'll talk about that. When we do the meeting, or before we do the meeting, because I guys are at the end of the month. I am going to send out an email for all of the people that did the name change. Just let me know who did the name change, and I will send you the people you have to send to, the agency, the top people.
Awesome.
It's not who you think it is. You know, you got to send it to certain, like with the IRS, you got to send it to a certain office in the human resources area.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
gotcha.
Yeah. So I have that information. I'll get that to y'all. All right.
Actually, that would help with my next question, or not question, but I got again this IRS coming at me with the intent to levy. And I do the same old process.
Do that, that's the same old crap.
Same old thing. Same old thing.
Go away.
And I haven't heard back. I haven't heard back. But that's about it, man. I mean, you man, the way you preach, the things that you say, it's inspiring, and I hope other people, I hope it inspires other people. So, things can happen in your life as long as you have that spiritual side. And I always think too, like, you got the three things, like your health, wealth, and your spiritual. You have those three things to keep yourself in balance.
Yep, absolutely, bro. Yeah. There's always that spirituality is always first. I mean, you can't. You're not going to do this without it. You're not. You're not going to get.
You're not.
It's not going to work.
You're not. Yeah. Absolutely, man. But I just want to share that with you. And I've been busy. I'm trying to catch up on things, but you always on my mind, and your teachings and everything like that is inspiring to me. And you know how I feel. So
Yeah.
To you and your family.
I said, man, he what happened?
AWOL. Yeah. But I had to come on, man. But
okay.
Just been, I'm still there, man.
Okay.
All right.
I do have to get with you because we need to talk about I've been having that site, so we need to talk about that. I want to do some things, and I need to ask you some questions about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
Call me up. All right. Peace, bro.
All right, Pete. All right, let's go to the next one. 313737.
Oh, that sounds like pure energy right there. You already know, man. It's so hype, bro.
What was that?
I said, bro, this is one of the hypest shows I done heard in a long, long, long time. And I want to give it up to that brother maybe 2 calls ago with the testimony with the child support. Now, Akeem personally even helped me go through a similar battle. Now, just like Akeem said, now she gonna come back with you. But bro, look at the wall you put up on her. I mean, see, a lot of times, man, we be thinking like a win. Oh, we just gonna go in here and they gonna throw it out and this. But you know what, bro? Ain't a win not even going to jail? Ain't that a win?
That's a win.
Okay,
the win is they still didn't get. He didn't tell you the kind of money they were trying to get, but it's a substantial amount of money.
We can't do nothing, bro. My case, Akeem, 60. I'ma put it out here. They wanted 65,000. She pulled me in front of the judge under contempt of court, and guess what? I walked out.
This is what this was. This was. It was that situation too. Yeah.
I walked out just like the brother did. I mean, anytime you face it, in Michigan, if you behind more than 10,000, according to the statute, that's a felony. I'm going to just tell you I'm way over that. And I walked out being in front of the judge in contempt of court from my teachings on hindsight. So that brother right there, and you know what? I understand, man, it's a difficult time right now for everybody with this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? But for that brother to go in there, man, and just stay pounded and in the ground and like, you know what? My righteousness is unwavering. I don't care what you do. I'm here. You know what I'm saying, man? That takes commending. That takes commending right there, bro. That takes a lot of strength.
So he definitely had it. He had it because they were trying to shake him up. They tried to.
And I know what he's going through, man. I know what he's going through. Because like I say, I had my boys from the day they was born until they was 13 and 11, 70% of their life. So, I mean, man, that is powerful. And I want to touch on this too. The little snippets, Akeem, that you've been putting on YouTube concerning your name change process, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know I've been with you for a long time, bro. I've been with you for a long time. And I'm telling everybody I know, hey, Akeem on to some shit. I've been studying. That's why I done disappeared. You know me, Akeem. I strictly, y'all tell me where to go. I'm not coming out of there until I got a overstanding of what I'm doing. See, I've had a lot of people go through this process, and I'm going to tell people this process can make you arrogant. So you have to be very careful about your wits and your demeanor and your character. Okay? This can turn. I'm watching the fucking monsters. Okay?
Yes.
You got to guard your nuts when you're doing this. You got to guard your nuts if you want to stay a good person.
One of the ways I try to stay grounded is that I remember that this information is not really mine. It's not. I just took stuff, read it, put it together, and created this system with it. But it's not mine. Because what's going to happen when I'm gone? Somebody else got to do the job. Is it theirs? No, it keeps getting passed on. So I don't mind passing it on. Why I do the videos and give y'all the snippets, hey, this is what y'all can do. Boom, boom, boom. But if you really want me to get into details and do all that, okay, we're going to have to talk commerce and in private. Well, I'll talk to you and walk you through this, brother. You know, walk them through it. And, you know, sometimes I do call kind of early. That's because the Spirit has moved me to call. Let's get it while it's hot. The information is on the fire. You know, he wasn't upset about it, and he took the call. I said, I know I'm calling early because I was up probably about 3:00 in the morning, and it hit me. I said, I got to call this up now. You know. That's a powerful did his job. I really
that upper and lower. Man, that's powerful, bro.
You don't have to do nothing.
That's
simple.
So powerful. And you know what? All this time, I've been, I mean, and this is how we was taught. And I ain't dissing nobody. I used the Moorish name when I went in court. And that's my right to through my ancestors. Yeah. But at the same time, when we could have just hit them with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, that's just beautiful. And, I mean, you can even go back and you can always keep your Moorish name. But like you said, that straw man, too, you need to fix him. Y'all always told us the straw man need to be fixed.
Now, there's one thing I thought I was going to change my name to the L at one point, right? And it didn't go through, right? There was issues with that. And I could have. They gave me the option to do, but they just want to change the nationality. But then I thought about it. I said, my mom gave me this name. And, I got to show respect. Me, it felt like I was disrespecting her by doing that. And then by me not doing that, changes coming, then as soon as some major changes happened, then information just kind of fell in my lap. And then, what is this here we're looking at? So I'm going to tell y'all the truth. The whole name change process been like a year in the making. But you know me, I got to study it, play with it, look at it, make sure it's sound before I bring it to everybody. And that's what a lot of stuff I got burner that I'm right now making sure it's sound. So there's a lot of remedy to come, years to come. It's flowing. But right now, this right here and something else that I'm that's in the process is about 85% done. It's going to be what you call Dream Team, the Dream Team Olympic.
Okay. Hell no. Yeah, since I've been there since that, basically 2015, straight on through with you guys nonstop. You know, it just that is hell of a. I mean, you know, that process, that name change, man, that's some bad shit. Because I was just, like I say, the few things you put on YouTube, part nationality, part 1, part 2, part 3, blah, 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 I was going through there. And, of course, I've been to the CDC race content sheet, you know what I'm saying, with the designation numbers, Moors, Iroquois, blah, 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 blah. Went through all that. And I'm like, man, this brother is on to some shit. And I kept thinking to myself, and I read that definition too. When you said capitis diminuto maxima, anything that is an all capital name, a goddamn corporation. It's not a living, breathing human. It's not a being. It's a creature of law. Remember, entity, creature of law. Wow, it just fucked me up. I mean, because then, just like the brother just said, well, Akeem, on your birth certificate, ain't it supposed to be blah, blah, blah? Well, guess what my birth certificate said? It says my straw man name, all upper and lower case. Mine ain't in all caps.
Mine's isn't
I'm like,
either.
ain't this a bitch?
Fact.
The obstacle
and most people,
is
if you get
solution.
the certificate of live birth, the certificate of live birth, if you get the original document, most people's is not in all caps. It's the regular, when they give you that little short form birth certificate, it'll be in all caps, right? But it doesn't get converted to all caps until you send it off.
Until
they
2
make it a
weeks
debtor.
later. Yeah. Mine was on the. They sent mine. They turned mine into an all caps on December 31st because I was born the 15th. It's actually December 30th. It said right on there. Date registered 12/30.
See, let me just drop this on you, and this is it's heavy. You have your date of birth, 10/20. Mine is 10/27, right?
Yeah.
In the year. That's my date of birth. But my day of death, according to them, is the day that was registered, which was a couple of days later.
Yes. So guess what? When you was talking about birth that one day on the show, right? You was like, let me look up birth for y'all. Birth, it says in the 1828 because you was the one who told me to get one. It say death. Birth is death. So when I seen December 30th,
their system, it became the birth certificate is really a death certificate.
Exactly. It's actually a certificate of what? Civiliter mortuus, being civilly dead.
But see, the problem, and this is the key. This is the key. I'm gonna give y'all a hit. The problem is exactly what you said, civilly dead. You got to identify that with them like, yo, only place that could adjudicate anyone civilly dead is the court of law. They can't do it by administration through the paperwork, although that's what they're classifying you as. But a court has to say this person is civilly dead. And if there's no court order out there, then there's no reason to put that name in all caps. And you know, that's all I'm going to say.
Yep. Ain't that powerful? Wow. We. You the
but
man.
I'm trying to say,
you
that later paperwork that made them run from him. That I put in there that made them run.
Yep.
Because I identified the jurisdiction of only people. Hey, this appears to be this. And wait a minute, what court said this?
Yep. Now, see, that's so crazy because even though I use my spiritual name, Septimius Bay, guess what I still told them? When she showed me the name, she said it out her mouth. She said, I need him to be the name that I have on my paperwork. And I put my hand up. I said, I can never be what she has on her paperwork. First of all, what she has on her paperwork is a first name and a last name. That's not me. And it's in all capitals. That's not me either. Judge threw his hands up. He was like, well, do you have a social? I was like, who are you asking? You asking me? He was like, yes, I'm asking you in front of me. Do you have a Social Security number? I was like, no, sir. Absolutely not. There was no commercial transaction involved when I was born on the continent of North America in Michigan territory. He was like, oh, my God. Man, small words, man. Listen to this brother, man. Y'all keep calling. I mean, the brother been doing it for years. Been doing it for years, man. And like I say, when I get my little paper together, bro, I need that name change, bro. I like that. That is a winner. I'm going to go a different way. I can choose to do what I want to do. When other information chooses to present itself, I get to change my own mind. Ooh, that. Hey, pure energy.
All right, peace. All right.
Peace, guys.
All right, let's keep going. I think I'm going to make this my last call. 253-476.
Yeah, peace to the guys. How's it going?
What's going on?
That's good. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to that brother, the one with the testimonies about the child support. That was really, really interesting. I really admire his courage and everything, the way he went through. He gets up and get down on his knees and pray. That is really awesome. Most definitely.
Yeah.
I know he's really thankful for having somebody like you to be helping him out. But when you were talking to Marco, did you say that we should email you about the people that we should email our correction name change to, or are we going to wait?
I already know who got it. It's only a handful, so I already know. So I'm going to send an email with the addresses where you need to mail those certified copies to.
Okay. All right. That'd be great. Okay. Let me ask you a couple more questions before I let you go. I'm going to be making an appointment with you here in the next couple of days. I'll be finished with doing the petition. I wanted you to go over it, make sure everything looks good. And I want to ask you, okay, I know we're supposed to send in just the petition, the $60 money order, the SS4 forms with the numbers on it for the court.
No, not the suit. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Send in the petition, send in the SS4, the numbers with the SS numbers on it, and where you want to have your court at. Okay, but we don't put anything else in there, such as exhibit.
We don't have to be in.
Pardon me?
I don't know. That's IN paperwork. That doesn't sound like the tax court stuff.
No, the tax court, it's got to be the petition, and you already sent me the paperwork. It's a Form 4, which is the SS where you fill in your Social Security numbers. Form 4.
Oh, that's not a SS4. It's a Form 4. Okay, yeah.
Right,
Remember,
right.
It's not
Form 4, and then where you want to have the court at. But you don't send in any exhibits or anything with that. That's all you send in is just...
No, you don't send exhibits. You don't send exhibits until the actual case moves forward, like when you're actually arguing the case, and then you send in your exhibits to prove your point, things like that. Right now, you just send in the complaint, which is they didn't do this, that, and the other. And what exhibits would you send in there? Okay,
that's what I wanted to ask you. What I was thinking from reading your template.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me look at it. You know, it's been a while since I've done one of those. It's been almost over a year.
Right, but what I was thinking that the exhibits are supposed to just be having a mention of the exhibits supposed to be on the paper, but you don't send in any.
Let me see that. Let me look at it again.
Okay.
You know, I have to look at it, and then I'll tell you exactly what to do in the consultation.
Okay, we'll go ahead and book an appointment and let you look at it, and we'll go from there.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right, peace to the gods. Thank you.
All right. Good show. And, of course, that's it for me. I've been reading since 4 o'clock this morning. Took about a 15-minute nap. So I'm a little ready to go. So before I go, remember we got the webinar coming up this Saturday on the name change 2. That is very important because I will be going over some details that is very crucial to getting this name change done properly. For some of the people a lot of people have gotten through in my private group. Quite a few people got it done, and there's some people having a hard time. And not to pick on them or anybody else, I listen to when people tell me they're having an issue, and it's a common thing. They have in their head that those entities are going to do them in, that they're bad. They're going to turn my paperwork down. They have in their mind already that they're going to be presented with a problem, and guess what? They get the problem. That's 99.9% of the people I talk to. I see it. They don't see it because they're so used to thinking like that. And don't take this like I'm picking on you. It all goes to whatever a man thinketh, so it will be. So always think positive about what you're doing and what you're trying to do in this situation, because there's enough negativity in those courtrooms already. You don't need to add to it. Bring something different, a different energy. The brother that had his success, he had a different energy. The reason why there's success happening with Jessica and her student loan stuff, energy. Was there doubt at times? Yes, of course. You get shaken up a little bit, but then you got to keep reminding yourself. Keep envisioning these things done and completed. Everything's done. Everything is done according to your will, God's will. See, we got to stop taking God's will and putting it in the sky and it's emanating down. No, God's will is within you. That's how you manifest the will of God, through you, through your consciousness, through your thoughts and what you're thinking and what you want to accomplish. You are accomplishing things every day. And if it's something that you don't like, you are accomplishing that. Why? Because you are thinking these things, expecting these things. No, Hakeem, I would expect to have these bad relationships. Yes, you do. Because the moment you walk through the door, you're thinking something negative about the other person. That they're about to do this, they're about to say this, they're about to act this way. You're thinking these things throughout the day, and as soon as you're at the door, you're looking all twisted in your face, and then they're giving you back the energy you're giving them. How I know? It's like that commercial. I'm not only the CEO of this company, I'm also a patient. I know I've done it all. I did that. I know what y'all thinking. Thinking all these crazy thoughts. When they act crazy, you wondering why they crazy. Because you thinking crazy. You see? Oh, stop thinking crazy. Think good thoughts about whoever it is you're dealing with. Think good thoughts about your situation. Think good thoughts about your job. You know, my son today told my man, I really want to get rid of this job. I said, be careful what you're saying. Are you ready to be on your own and have your own business right now? Because you keep saying that. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get it before you're ready. So be thankful for whatever you have right now. Some of y'all do have jobs y'all don't like or don't want to be at, but be grateful because right now, with all of these lockdowns, a lot of people are going to be losing jobs all over again. It's about to get real and hard. So be thankful for what you have. And with that being said, I wish everybody a peaceful, prosperous, and extreme wealth to everyone. Peace.
That is your spiritual destiny. You are not here in this world to work for things. You know, they're talking about people, somebody said that Reverend Ike worships money. It's the people that don't have money that worship money more than the people who have it. Because when you don't have money, you're thinking about it all the time. How am I going to get money for my mortgage? How am I going to get money for my rent? How am I going to get money for my car note? How am I going to get money for my children? How am I going to get money? How am I going to get money? How am I going to get money? The person that's got it, don't even worry about it. Don't even have to think about it. And you see, you come to that ultimate realization, and Dr. McCarthy is going to put this on the screen. The ultimate realization that brings money to you. Here it is. I am money.